What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today I've got something extremely interesting to take a look at with you guys. Basically, what's happened is Activision sent out a secret survey to specific people. So it wasn't something that was super public. It's not something that went out to everybody. It went out to a certain select group of people. I'm sure it was randomly selected, and it just went to random people with Call of Duty accounts and emails associated to it. But in this survey, it's actually pretty telling. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here that kind of alludes to potential new features we could be seeing in future Call of Duties. Like, obviously, this survey is too late for Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is already at the end of its life cycle. There's not going to be any huge changes at this point in time. So this survey is kind of in relation to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, the next game after that, the game after that, and the game after that. So it kind of, shows us a crystal ball into the future of Call of Duty. And some of this stuff Activision's thinking about keeping, thinking about changing, and some new features they could be bringing to the game. Like, it's actually pretty hype. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to share with you guys, so let's get right into it. Now, all the screenshots you guys can see in this video are courtesy of KSX Silencer. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I really appreciate it. I'm going to link his channel down in the description. Make sure you guys go over there, let him know I said thank you, and subscribe if you haven't already. But anyway, let's hop into this. So the first page of the survey is really not that exciting. You guys can see it's what's your overall impression of each of these features in Black Ops 3. It has all kinds of stuff that Black Ops 3 brought to the table: rare supply drops, crypto keys, COD points, gunsmith, paint shop, gobblegums, bribes, Dr. Monty's factory, contracts, that sort of thing. So that's whatever. It's not that exciting. Let's move on. Next up, it says, how likely would you be to purchase rare supply drops in the future? So obviously, supply drops are a huge deal in Call of Duty right now. It started with Advanced Warfare last year. It continued into Black Ops 3. It's making Activision a lot of money, but at the same time, some of the community is pissed about it. And I don't have a problem with supply drops if it's cosmetic items. I think it's cool if it's cosmetic items. If it's, weapon camos, character customizations, emblem stuff like that, that's fine. If you keep it like CSGO, if you keep it like Overwatch or anything else, I think it's fantastic for people who want to spend a little bit of extra money or really grind out the game and get those crypto keys. If they can get rare skins and, rare customization items, that's great. That's fantastic. I think it's cool. Where I get the problem here is when they introduce these statistic varying weapons to where, it gives people an unfair advantage. Like, some of the weapons aren't that great, but like the Marshall 16 was fantastic for a while. The Banshee is a one-shot kill anywhere on the map, no matter what. And it's just like, it's not fair that people don't all have access to this. Like, the likelihood of you playing the game normally and getting enough crypto keys to unlock most of these bonus statistic varying weapons is so low, like it's almost impossible. So really the only way to get all this new stuff is to spend a ton of money on the game. And that's not right. That's where I have the problem with it. That's where most of the community has a problem with it. So supply drops aren't the problem. The statistic varying weapons in the supply drops are what the problems are. And you guys are going to see there are some questions about this in here. So it says, to what degree do you feel rare supply drops contribute to the balance of the gameplay experience? And this is what I'm talking about. I'm hoping whoever got sent this survey has said that it makes it a little bit less balanced, or maybe even a lot less balanced, depending on where you stand on that case. And now this is where it gets really interesting, and this excites me because I think it's going to bring a positive change to Call of Duty. So it says, what content would you want included in a rare supply drop? Please note that all supply drop content would be able to be unlocked by crypto keys earned in the game. Let's take a look at this. Weapon visual effects customizations, changes in the firing effect of your weapon when fired does not affect its function or performance. What? Is this a new feature that might be coming to Call of Duty? Visual effects customization. It changes the firing effect of your weapon when it's fired. That's kind of interesting. We could change the way weapons look and perform when they're fired, but their stats stay the same. We could be seeing that in a future Call of Duty game. That's interesting. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Next up, calling cards, animated or rare, that's fine. Crypto keys, whatever. Ability to apply additional weapon attachments above the normal maximum. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Like, that better not be an Infinite Warfare. That's not fair at all. That's something that affects the actual gameplay and gives you an in-game advantage. That should not be in there. Variants of existing weapons with built-in modifiers that change their performance characteristics. This is like Advanced Warfare, the AK-12 RIP, the ASM-1 Speakeasy. No, absolutely not. It affects the gameplay. Please don't put that in there. Next up, we have faster supply drop earn rate, i.e. twice the number of crypto keys. That's fine. That's good. I don't have a problem with that. Next up, digital items that players can gift to a friend. We could be having items in future Call of Duty games that you can trade around. That'd be really, really cool. That's kind of like a little hint towards that. We'll have to wait and see if it works out, but that could be a cool feature. Double weapon XP, that's fine. Emblems for player cards, that's fine. Player voiceover lines and taunts, melee weapons, esports themes, cosmetic customization items, all those are fine. If it's cosmetic, I don't have an issue with it. Next up, this is another new thing we could be seeing in Call of Duty. Scorestreak visual customization, i.e. unique skins on vehicles. So take, for example, the Wraith in Black Ops 3. The Wraith is really cool. It's very similar to what the Harrier was in Modern Warfare 2. You know, the Harrier had like an airstrike, but the second half of the Harrier is just like the Wraith is. So pretend like in Black Ops 3, we have vehicle customization to where you can make your Wraith look like the Harrier. That'd be kind of cool, right? To be able to switch it up and make your kill streaks unique to you. I think that'd be awesome. So we could be seeing that come to Call of Duty in the future. New specialist characters in supply drops? No, please no, absolutely not. Weapon reticles are fine. Killcam customizations, that's a new feature we could be seeing in Call of Duty. I'm not sure what they mean by that. How could you customize the Killcam? We'll have to wait and see, but that's kind of exciting. Character cosmetic customization items, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Don't care about that. Double XP, why not? Winner's Podium visual effects, why not? And now this is where we get into a no-no zone. Entirely new weapons with unique gameplay? Hell no. New score streaks? Hell no.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no, to the no, no. Hell to the no, no.
I mean, seriously, could you imagine a score streak in the game that you can only get if you unlock it through a supply drop and it's not available to everybody else? That would be absolutely crazy. There's no way that would ever happen, but they're just trying to cover all the bases. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get a full feedback and cover everything. I think it's fairly obvious most people wouldn't want that, but they need to have that option in there. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a fair survey. So next up, they asked which item you'd be most interested in having in a rare supply drop. I think mine would probably be weapon skins, like, you know, weapon camos and stuff like that. Be interested to see what you guys have to say. Leave a comment down below. The next one says, which one are you least interested in having in those rare supply drops? Mine would probably be entirely new weapons with unique gameplay for this one. I don't think you should have access to new weapons that perform differently. I think that creates an unfair atmosphere for playing online. Now, next up, they've got more kind of like agree, disagree type questions for Black Ops 3 supply drops and the entire kind of feeling of the system. So like how often you receive duplicates, if you think the crypto key earn rate is fast enough, whether or not there are exciting items in there that you really want to get, stuff like that. So they're trying to do an overhaul to the supply drop system. I don't see the supply drop system going anywhere, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think if we take out the bad stuff from the supply drops, we can make it really cool. I mean, look at CSGO, look at Overwatch, look at a lot of, you know, like Dota and all those other games. They do it in a fantastic way to where, you know, a big fan of the game can spend extra money if they want to get extra cool stuff that makes them happy but doesn't give them an advantage. And I think that's exactly how the Call of Duty supply drop system should be. I think you should be able to get rare stuff. I think you should be able to get really cool camos and really cool customization things that other people don't have, that makes you feel cool and gives you that feeling of reward and of pride and stuff like that. But it's not going to give you an advantage. Pride over advantage. Let's do that, boys. So that's just kind of the feedback they're getting there. Next up, they're asking about liquid divinium, gobblegums, and stuff like that. Obviously, you guys know I'm not the hugest zombies player in the world. I used to be a little bit more back in the day. Honestly, it's just a little bit too complicated for me at this point. Like, it's kind of hard to follow because it's so deep now. So, you know, for some people, I know Liquid Divinium was like a really cool new exciting thing in this game, and like all the gobblegums and the power-ups and the abilities and stuff like that. Some people don't like the complications as much. They're kind of trying to get feedback on that. If you guys are hardcore zombies players, I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say about that. Do you like the new, more complicated stuff? Or do you like the older, kind of simpler stuff? And then next up, they said, based on your perception, how frequently do you feel new content is released into the black market supply drop system? So they're kind of asking, you know, how often, do you think it's an appropriate amount right now? Does it need to be, more than that or less than that and that kind of thing? They ask how you find out about this stuff. So obviously they want people to find out about it when they put it in the game. And then finally, the last question they have here is, have you ever purchased any micro DLC in a Call of Duty game? By micro DLC, we're referring to small pieces of in-game content, such as customization items, which rarely cost more than a few dollars. And you can either say yes or no. So obviously micro DLC will always be around in any game from here on out, because it's it's a cash cow. It's how developers make money after the game's released, and you'd be hard pressed to find a game that's not going to do that anymore, whether it be through supply drops or other bonus little features. So yeah, there you guys have it. I found that kind of interesting. We found out some of the stuff they're taking a look at. Like, obviously they're really kind of focusing on the supply drop system, the COD points, the crypto keys, trying to find the right balance for that in these future Call of Duty games, as well as we got to look into some of the features and some new things we might see in future games. Custom kill cams, skins for your score streaks, all kinds of stuff like that. It's really, really interesting. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to catch you guys later. Make sure you guys check out these subscriptions. Seen yet? Peace out.